Hello everyone, how's everybody today? Today we are making 3 ingredient creme brulee, and I really wanted to make this recipe for a while now, but timing and having other jobs and other commitments and other obligations, it's really tough. I was gonna make a short out of this video, but I just felt like more obligated to make a real video out of this because this is such a crucial, fancy bougie dessert, and I really feel like it was something that I should go step by step with. And today we're doing a cheat method. We're making 3 ingredient creme brulee. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a custard-based dessert. Basically, you take vanilla extract, and a lot of recipes, if you want to be fancy, they use the vanilla bean plate and they just scrape the paste out of it, and then they add heavy cream and boil it, and then that's your vanilla paste, and then you pour that in a ramekin bowl. It's very crucial that you have a ramekin bowl. If you don't have a ramekin bowl, use something that's oven safe, really small. We'll show you what they are in here in a second. And then the fun part and the crucial, the more innovative part of this is after you chill it and you bake it like a cake a little bit, and just make sure that it's cooked on the outside, but in the middle a little wobbly. And when you freeze it for a little bit, chill it for a little while, and then you caramelize it, pour some sugar on top, and then the fun part comes, you caramelize it with a butane torch or a hot iron. So you're burning it, and that's actually another name for this. Burnt cream something. I don't know. I think that's another name for this dessert. Cambridge burnt cream. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I think I did see that from the research that I've done. So anyway, I'm doing the 3 ingredient one, and you don't need the vanilla extract. You could just use vanilla ice cream. So we have our vanilla ice cream here, and this recipe said you use one for each ramekin bowl, 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream for each ramekin bowl. But recipes, underestimate a lot of things, and I played with it a little bit. I think I had to play with this recipe for a little bit before I actually could make it, and that's why. Anyway, so we're gonna start with 6 or 7 scoops of ice cream. All right, I got 1 vanilla ice cream, that is. All right, 2, and we're gonna be generous with these. Oh. 7 scoops, yeah, 6 or 7. See where that goes. Oh. And then after that, we're gonna throw it in the microwave, and we're gonna melt it for we're gonna throw it in there for like 40 seconds and get it good and melted, and then we're gonna add our egg yolks. 4, so I guess that's 4 so far. 5, 6. All right, 6 I think is a healthy amount, actually, because we're using 2 ramekin bowls, and it takes a little bit to fill them up. So yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna add 1 more. Hello, Jay. How you doing? So how's everybody's Father's Day? Did everybody have a good Father's Day? My Father's Day was pretty damn good. We had I think at my sister's house, we had brisket, we had some stuffed potatoes, and we had jalapeno poppers. They were really delicious, actually. So yeah, I had a really good day. So I'm just finishing it off by making you guys a really nice dessert. A cheat method though, a really like a 3 ingredient dessert. So it's gonna be good. All right, so we're gonna take this and throw this in the microwave for about 40 seconds. Let me turn the camera over a little bit so you guys can see me. Throw it in the microwave. Pickle bread? No, I do not know. I've never heard of that. Pickle bread. Is that good? I don't know. That sounds kind of iffy. Pickle bread. Never even heard of that. All right. So I was a little bit lenient. I put it in there for 35 seconds and see where that goes. So we're just gonna melt our ice cream, and then we're gonna add them to our ramekin bowls, and then we're gonna separate our eggs from our egg yolks from our eggs, and then we're gonna mix those together, and then we're gonna add our hot water bath, and then we're gonna throw them in the oven and bake them. So yeah, we got a little bit to go. I won't be able to show you everything, and I will actually have to put this in 2 parts because it has to be. After you bake it, you have to chill it for like 3 hours. So we're gonna be, generous. We're gonna throw it in the refrigerator. I'm not exactly sure when they say chilled. Does that mean you're supposed to put it in the freezer or the refrigerator? So we're just gonna leave it in the refrigerator. So this is gonna be an overnight thing. And then tomorrow we're gonna do the fun part. We're gonna caramelize it with our sugar, and we're gonna use the blowtorch, and we're gonna burn our sugar. So that's actually the finishing touches, and that's what makes this recipe unique. You just have to use dildo. Interesting. All right. Now our ice cream is good melted. We're gonna give that a little bit of mix. right. Get that good and mixed. Let that cool for a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That wasn't funny. That was actually a little offensive. Hello, Alexander. How you doing? Right, so we're about to add our ice cream mixture to our ramekin bowls here, as you can see. Hopefully there's enough to fill both of them. There we go, there's one, and there's the other one. All right, we might have to add a little bit more. Oh, crap. Yeah, definitely didn't fill the last bowl, so we need to add a little bit more ice cream so we can fill this one a little bit more. So I think 2 more scoops would be good. All right, so we're gonna throw our extra scoops that we needed for our ramekin bowl because we weren't able to fill the other one up all the way. So yeah, we're gonna throw this back in that microwave for about 20 seconds. There we go. All right, so how's everybody's day going? You ever have a good Father's Day? Like I said, my Father's Day was not bad. It was pretty good. I had a great meal. You know, I got to see my family. So yeah, it's pretty nice. We used to only do things for Christmas. Now we do things for almost every holiday. We do things for Mother's Day, Father's Day. It was also my niece's birthday, so it was really good. So yeah, that's great. I'm glad you did. Do anything fun? All right, I'm gonna grab my ice cream now. Oh, that's good, mixed up really well. All right, we're gonna give that a mix. All right, that should be definitely good. Perfect. All right. Oh, shoot. Spilled a little bit of it. Didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Whoops. Made a little bit of a mess. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna, oh, I hope everybody can still hear me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack 2 eggs and we're gonna separate the yolks from the eggs. Now there's a method that I've shown on one of my previous videos. I'm pretty sure it might have gotten deleted, but the way to separate eggs from egg yolks or egg yolks from eggs is, you know, you can rub your hands with garlic and make sure you get a good garlic clove, a big garlic clove, and rub your hands really well, generously. And then you can actually just pick up the egg yolk. I'm dead serious, I've tried it before, and that's one way of doing it. But today we're just gonna use the old grandma method, and we're just gonna flip them back and forth. So yeah, here we go. There's 1 egg. I'm gonna do this over the sink. All right. You guys move that so you can see it. Whoop. Make sure the egg yolk don't break. Come on. There we go. Now we're just gonna toss this back and forth so we can separate it from the yolk. There we go. Beautiful. That's okay if it breaks because you're gonna mix it anyway. So we're gonna add that 1 egg yolk to our 1 ramekin bowl. There we go. We're gonna crack our 2nd egg and we're gonna do the same thing. There we go. Oh, beautiful. All right, so now that we got our other egg, oh, almost, we got some of the egg yolk out. All right, there we go. Oh, lost some of our yolk. All right, so now we're gonna pour it in the 2nd bowl. There we go. Oh, beautiful. All right, put that in there. All right, so now we're gonna give both of those a mix. We're gonna generously stir the eggs in there. get that egg going. Beautiful. Now we're just gonna mix this until the egg is completely dissolved in there. So yeah, we gotta make sure that egg flavor is in there really well. Right, that was looking good. So far that's looking really, really good, as you guys can see. Alright, now we're gonna mix the second one. Hope we poured an egg in there. All right, get that mixed a little bit more. Let me wipe the edges off, got a little messy. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna transfer our ramekin bowls full of our creme brulee mixture into our oven-safe pan right here. All right, there we go. And now our water's boiling, so we're gonna add our water bath to it. And it's very crucial that you add a water bath to this, you know, because that will actually help it cook very efficiently or bake it very efficiently. So yeah, and that's what you want. You don't want it to overcook. If you don't add that water bath, it will definitely overcook. So yeah, we don't want that. All right, give me a few. I'm gonna grab the boiling water and we're gonna pour it in there and up to like halfway until make sure it just covers most of the ramekin bowl. So yeah. Go. Set the side. All right, now we're gonna carefully add our water bath to our oven-safe pan. Here we go. Make sure, like I said, you want to cover your ramekin bowls pretty highly because this is what's gonna help it cook really efficiently. So yeah, there we go. Throw you guys aside a little bit. All right, now we're gonna take this and throw in our oven, and our oven's already preheated to 325, and you wanna keep this in there for 40 minutes, and you probably check on it ever so often. You know, it might be done sooner, it might be done a little bit longer, but you wanna make sure that in the middle, the outer limits are cooked, but the inner limit is a little wobbly, and that's when you know, like when you're baking a cake, that it's done. Okay, so I'll throw this in the oven. There we go. All right. All right. All right, so we set our onion time all the way to 40 minutes, but we're definitely gonna be checking on that in between that. It could be done before, it could be done later. So yeah, this is just the first time I've used it. it looked like a really cool cheat method to a very fancy recipe, so I just had to try it. So yeah. Unfortunately, though, I won't be able to show you the whole recipe tonight. After it's done in the oven, that's pretty much half the battle right there. We're going to be chilling it, and I'm going to be chilling it probably overnight in my refrigerator. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do 2 parts in this video, and then we're going to do the fun part. We're going to caramel it. We're going to pour our sugar on top, and then we're going to caramelize it with our, what do you call it? Caramelize the sugar with our blowtorch. That's the fun part. Anyway, and that's what the more crucial, interesting part of this recipe is, and why this is such a fascinating dessert so that we're using. But anyway, before I go, just want to see how everybody's doing. Anything new? I hope everybody had a good Father's Day. Like I said before, my Father's Day was great. You know, I got to see my family, I got to see my, nieces and nephews. I had a really good dinner. It was really nice. Yeah. So I hope everybody had a great, blessed Father's Day. But yeah, like I said, this recipe is more, I'm sure some of you have heard of it, some of you haven't. Crème brûlée. It's a French dish, and it's well known for its bougie, fancy name of it. That it's a pretty fancy dessert. And like I said, the actual other name for it is actually burnt Cambridge cream cheese. I think I'm pretty sure some burnt cream or something, because you actually do burn it in the end. I'm sure many of you have probably seen those TikTok videos where people, taking a blowtorch to the top of, it looks like an ice cream cake or whatever, vanilla custard. Yeah, it's a custard flavored, and that's what makes it so crucial, and that's what makes it so more popular, that it stands out, because you caramelize the sugar on your own with a blowtorch. So it's pretty interesting. So yeah, you can use this method that I'm using. I'm just showing you a really cheap, interesting, fancy, or quick method to use. But one of these days I would like to actually make it the old-fashioned way, and I'd like it to make it with a vanilla bean stem, scraping out. And this is actually known as an intermediate recipe. It's a little bit more tougher. I think it's just because of separating the eggs from the egg yolks and everything, and scraping out the vanilla paste from the stem. So yeah, but one of these days we will get to the fancier, more traditional version of it. So anyway, all right. Well, I don't see many people on tonight, so it looks like we don't have much of a lively crew. So anyway, we stick around for a little bit longer. I might go check on the dessert for a minute. But yeah, other than that, yeah, we're gonna make a second part. This is only the first part. I'm really glad that I got the first part out of the way. I think separating the yolks and everything, like I said, there's a pretty cool cheat method that you can use. Rub your hands with garlic or whatever. So yeah, I haven't tried this recipe before, but it looks good, and it looks actually pretty easy, simple cheat method. So we're gonna see how it goes. But yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do the rest. Oh, and the other thing about this recipe too, you don't even have to use vanilla. You can actually play with them. You can even play, if you're using this cheat method, the 3 ingredient method that I'm using today. You can use strawberry flavored ice cream. You can use chocolate flavored ice cream. You could use chocolate or any of that, even when you're making it the traditional way. I mean, there's a bunch of other flavors that you can use, but vanilla is the more traditional way to go. So the vanilla basically what you're making is a vanilla custard actually, and that's going to be the base for your the dessert. So anyway, all right, well, it was really nice seeing you guys. I hope everybody had a good Father's Day once again. Don't forget to like and follow, and as always, happy cooking, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow for the second part. Bye.